Hello, welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Jahmal Kennedy.
And I'm Kyle Shook. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Athletics. Leading off of our segment, baseball. Sunday afternoon, the Trojan baseball team took on Georgia Southern to close out a weekend series against the Eagles. Jahmal Kennedy has the results.
Sunday's at Riddle Pace Field, where the sun shines down on the Troy baseball team, and on this Sunday, it shined down on a 4-0 win over Sunbelt Conference opponent Georgia Southern. Head coach Mark Smart comments on how much his team needed to win this game.
Well, I think it's critical. I mean, you just can't afford to get swept anywhere. Home, road, doesn't matter. And you know, today we played really well. We found a way to score a run and then another run, and we kept extending the lead. Although we didn't get the series at home like we expect to and plan to, today was a must-win. I was really proud of the win today.
And after taking 2 of the first 3 games in the series, on Sunday, Georgia Southern ran into a brick wall. That brick wall pitched 8 1/3 innings strong, only allowing 3 hits. That brick wall was 6'4" Troy starter Andrew Crane.
Andrew Crane was terrific. He was the story of the day. He went 8 1/3 shutout baseball, and we ended up getting the shutout for him. I was proud of that. But he set the tone early. He gave us a chance to get a lead, and he kept the lead, and I was really proud of his work.
Not only was Crane's performance on Sunday dominant, but it was much needed as the bullpen was depleted after the first 2 games.
Well, it's critical because, you know, both in Game 1 and Game 2, we were in the bullpen earlier in the game.
I'm not sure who we have on the next midweek game, but it saves our bullpen to where we can go in and go at them strong, win that game, and keep our momentum going into the weekend and get our guys some innings.
If we'd had to go to the bullpen in the 5th or 6th inning, that's a totally different deal. So Andrew bypassed those guys through his great work.
And though the Trojans dropped 2 of 3, they did win 1. Both Crane and Coach Smart commented on how important this game could be down the stretch.
Oh, it feels great. I mean, it feels great to get my first win out of the way, and now we can just move on to the next game. So
I think it's imperative if you have any chance to stay in the race. You know, we're not knocking on the door of first place by any means, but if we do make a run late in the second half, this game might be the game that turns the corner.
Jahmal Kennedy, Troy Trojan Vision Sports.
Taking a look at the conference standings, Georgia Southern moved to 7-5 in conference play, but remains in 3rd place in the Eastern Division, while the Trojans now have a record of 5-7, but sit in 4th.
And the Trojans were back in action on Tuesday as well, making a quick trip up to Montgomery to take on Alabama State and chalking up another win against an in-state opponent. Troy surged and strung together 6 runs in the last 5 innings to defeat Alabama State 6-4 at Willard Watkins Baseball Complex Tuesday night. Brandon Lockridge led the Trojans going 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs in the contest, and Houston Mabry got the start on the mound, throwing 4 innings of 1-hit shutout ball to earn his 2nd win of the season. Mark Skinner earned his Sunbelt leading 8th save of the season, allowing 1 hit and striking out 2 in the 9th. Stephen Whitaker is the new road runner with the Burners on the bases after his 2 steals in Tuesday night's contest. His season total now sits at 13. Last season, Trevor Davis led the team with just 9 steals.
And the Trojan softball team had a rough go of things over the weekend as they took on a ranked opponent in Sunbelt Conference play. The Trojans were swept by number 16 Louisiana Lafayette and were defeated 11-0 by the 5th inning of Sunday's game. The Trojans were able to hold off the Cajuns through the 2nd inning, but unfortunately ULL took the lead after Aaliyah Cretan hit a home run in the 3rd inning. Stephanie Snyder and Cassidy McDilda earned Troy's first 2 hits of the day in the middle of the 2nd inning, but the Trojans just could not get across home plate. In Sunday's game, Louisiana Lafayette recorded 11 hits. In the 3-game series as a whole, Troy only recorded 11 hits.
The women's tennis team competed over the weekend and logged some bus hours on the trip. They finished up in New Orleans, taking on the number 48 ranked Green Wave of Tulane, but the Trojans began the trip in Mobile, where they took on Georgia Southern in Sunbelt Conference action. The Trojans took down the Eagles 4-1 to win their 2nd conference game in a row. After dropping the doubles point, well, the Trojans bounced back with a vengeance in singles play, sweeping all singles matches. Joyeon Zhu, Hannah Seitzer, and Sine Otah all won the singles matches to help Troy take the victory. And following the weekend action, one Trojan earned some Sunbelt Conference honors.
Don't get too ahead of yourself, Jahmal. While the women's tennis team was celebrating after those 2 big weekend wins against Georgia Southern and number 48 Tulane on the road, that one Trojan in particular got an extra share of the limelight. Junior Sine Otal was named the Sunbelt Conference Player of the Week after her performance in both of the weekend's matches. In Saturday's matchup against Georgia Southern, Otal went 7-5 twice to clinch the 4-1 victory. And against Tulane, she bested Kyla Clyer in the first set, dropped the second set, and shut out Clyer in the third set to secure a 4-3 victory.
It serves up over at the Lunsford Tennis Complex, where the men's tennis team closed out their home schedule. First with the match against Columbus State, and then the senior day matchup against Alabama A&M. Scott Kidd's Trojans took a 4-1 advantage over Columbus State before sweeping both doubles and singles against Alabama A&M. Andrew Bedwan became the first Trojan on the season to reach 20 wins. He did so against Columbus State.
The men's track and field team placed second, while the women placed fourth at the Bill Carson Invite. Zach Douglas followed his strong performance at the Florida Relays by throwing 18.9 meters in the shot put. Connor Brookman won the javelin throw with a personal record of 56.26 meters. As for the women, Karina Cox gave the Trojans their first win of the weekend with a throw of 52.64 meters in the discus. Niata Alexander ran a personal best in the 100-meter dash with a time of 11.88 seconds. Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojan baseball team's upcoming Sunbelt Conference matchup against Georgia State.
But first, I sit down with volleyball sophomore middle hitter Logan Page. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.